Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video we are going to determine our September 2025 TBR with the help of our alphabet TBR game. Hurrah! So if this is your first time watching an alphabet TBR game, here are like the mechanics. So basically every month my target is to pick or read 4 books. And so how am I going to be determining to do that is that through the alphabet TBR game, it consists of 26 letters from the English alphabet, and each letter consists of a prompt. Now I'm going to have to pick a letter from like a jar, which you will see later, and then I have to think of a book that fits to that letter because each letter has a corresponding prompt. Now here's the catch. If ever that I pick a letter that I already picked last month, I'm gonna have to add another pick. Or if I pick like letters that are like consecutive or next to each other, so say let's letter A and then I pick letter B, or I pick letter Z and then I pick letter Y, then I'm going to have to add another pick, although it doesn't apply when I pick letter A and then I pick letter Z. Okay, so hopefully that is clear. Now, because I want to be kind to myself, I want to pick, I want to limit my picks, I should say, to 8. And I decided also that because typically if I don't get to read any of these books, I'll be carrying them over to the next month. I don't think I'll be doing that anymore due to some certain steps that I realized to change, because sometimes I do the swap, depending on like my Everon account as well, that or if I just decide to like swap like a book for a prompt, I would do that. And basically if I don't get to start reading like any of these books in September, I no longer need to carry them over in October. But if ever that I get to start something and then I don't get to finish it, that's when I'm going to continue reading it in the next month. So hopefully the mechanics are clear, but before we head into the game and to determine our September 2025 picks, let us proceed in knowing our or how we did on our August 2025 TBR. So first is letter P, which is person on the cover. I chose Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson, and I read this. Letter E is a book that starts with letter L, and I chose Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and it's August 30th as I am filming this. Hopefully I get to finish it by tomorrow, otherwise I will continue reading it in September. Letter C is Nature on the cover, and I chose Water Moon by Samantha Sawyer-Bow, and I read this. And letter T is a debut book. I chose 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, and I read this. Also in August 2025, I listened to the audiobook of Throwback by Maureen Gu.
Pick number 1. Letter O.
Letter O is a beloved author, and basically I consider these authors like the first set of authors that I started reading when I got back into reading when I was in college. And yeah, they're kind of like, I would say, foundational just because they were like the first set. Basically I've mentioned here at least in the alphabet TBR games, like Paulo Coelho, and I think I mentioned Daniel Steele as well, and then John Grisham. I think those are the 3 that I've added already in different TBR games, not necessarily for this prompt, but anyway, the other author, I think for now, I think he is going to be like the last one for like the fundamental or like the first set of authors that I read since getting back into reading when I was in college. Okay, and I'm talking about Nicholas Sparks. And for this prompt, I will read The Rescue by Nicholas Sparks. Now, among like his works that were published before, like Safe Haven, this was the only one that I haven't read, you know, and I still have yet to read his newer works. And I've been wanting to get into this for quite some time. So finally, I'm gonna be reading it. So yeah.
Pick number 2. Letter Y.
Letter Y is an author that starts with letter L, and I chose Cupid's Match by Lauren Palfreyman. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. Now, I don't recall if I saw this in the booktube video or it was like one of like the Goodreads recommendations, and I saw it and like, the bibliography seems interesting. It's kind of organized according to my mind, and I think this is like a romantasy book from what I think. I may be wrong. I don't really read a lot of synopsis when I'm about to read something or add something into Goodreads, a to-read list that I have. It is available in Wattpad, so I'm going to be reading it there. And yeah, I think that, it's a good addition to my want-to-read list. And, this is an author that starts with the letter L.
Pick number 3. Letter K.
Finally, we get to pick a letter / prompt for the first time. Now it's been more than a year since I started the Alphabet TBR game, and finally we pick letter K, which is a book less than 400 pages. Wow, kind of like, the odds are in my favor, I suppose. But I was like looking into my Everon list, and hopefully by the time that, September comes, the book would still be available, because Everon sometimes like the book will be available and then the next thing is it won't be, so there's nothing like really permanent there, but I really enjoy my experience using Everon. Now, what I'm thinking for this prompt is Open Water by Caleb Azuman Nelson. Now, I've been kind of seeing some things about this every now and then, to some of my bookish folks and that I watch, so I felt like, maybe I would love to, read this one, and hopefully this is a story that I would be interested in. And I've been seeing it every now and then. As far as I saw, it is quite short. Like in Everon, it says like it is less than 200 pages, so that's right. And yeah, I've been seeing it in different videos every now and then. So great to read, and something that I would love to discover. And if ever that this doesn't become available, hopefully get to find another book that I can swap, hopefully with an Everon.
Pick number 4. Letter X.
Letter X is another chance author, and honestly I think like it is kind of quick for me not only to proceed with the series but to give this author another chance. But I was contemplating, I want to listen to something, and I plan to listen to the sequel of Daughter of Spoken Bone, which is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. I didn't really like the first book. Like there are some good elements in it, but it just didn't measure up according to my taste. So I'm going to give Laini Taylor another chance. Hopefully this is going to be a little bit more captivating, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy this more of like romantic, forbidden love that is like catered to teenagers or young adults. So yeah, hopefully this sequel is going to be better, and hopefully I can, continue reading Laini Taylor's works. So those are my September 2025 TBR picks. Feel free to comment down below if you've read any of these, or if you plan to read these, or if you've added these in your September 2025 TBR, maybe even any of these, or feel free to comment down below your September 2025 TBR. Also, if you don't really do TBRs, if you're like a mood reader, or you don't really do basically any TBRs, what are like your reading plans? Or say, what is that book on top of your mind that you want to read? Or that book that you're thinking about right now? Feel free to comment it down below. If you've made it this far, leave a bagel emoji. Now I hope you folks enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there and support me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye, y'all.